Hi, everyone. This is Anastasia again, and I am just checking that we are currently live also on Facebook. So just give me one moment, please. Yep, looks like it. Great. And I'm not getting it to go. All right, awesome. So welcome everyone to day 2 of the healing series with Anastasia. And we have the beautiful Melissa back. I'm going to be talking about flower essences.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah,
So
I'm excited.
cool. I wanted to just check in with you about yesterday, if anything came up after or during the day today. And if not, that's totally fine. Just wanted to check in and see if you got any more ahas or anything like that.
Yeah, really great question. I slept really well last night, so that was amazing. I'm usually up a few times in the night, and so I slept pretty hard, which doesn't really surprise me. And then not a ton about like reflections. I thought about some of the things that we brought up when we were live. I went for a walk afterwards. Walking or driving really helps me process and digest energy. So I made sure to get out right after we hopped off and went for a walk. So yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Good. So if anybody is joining us live and if you want to leave a comment or say hi, we would love that. We did have some people watch the replay yesterday, which is really cool. So yeah, we may or may not get anybody coming on, but that's okay.
Yeah.
So today, the reason for the day 2, the topic is flower essences. So when I work with people, like a session after, similar to one that I did yesterday with Melissa, I sometimes will recommend that people do a custom flower essence blend that I would put together for them. And sometimes I will recommend a single blend. And we're going to talk about that tonight because as I dowsed for you, if I were to make a custom blend for you, that's pretty much what I did. I dowsed to see if I were to make a blend, what would Melissa's blend be? And it's what you need like right now based on what's going on in your life and what you're working through. So it's like for now.
Mhm.
And they last for about 2 months. So they come in a 1 ounce like little tincture bottle like this, and they last about 2 months. And you take 2 or 3 drops 2 or 3 times a day
Okay.
on your tongue, under your tongue. You could put them in the water that you drink. So you could just put the drops in the water. When you're done with that, like midday, you put some more drops. So that's how somebody would work with a flower essence, and
Okay.
they really help to support what you're going through emotionally. It can help physically too. There are some flower essences that really work with physical issues in the body,
Mhm.
and so I'm not saying that people don't see a physical shift, but they're like, how to describe them. So I'll just share quickly that when I started going to a flower essence practitioner probably 20 years ago, she would muscle test. So she would like test like this to see which one I needed. I'm using my pendulum to get a yes or a no. And I would see her like every 2 months. So I would go, she would muscle test. Her and her husband owned a health food store. So I'd see her upstairs in their apartment. Then she'd be like, all right, go grab your flower essences. So I'd buy them and take them home and work with them. I'd see her like in 2 months. And she would always pick up on like at age 5, you went through this emotion was stored. This flower essence is going to help to release that. So we were really going back to like things that had happened in the past. And she's just really good at figuring out what people needed. Um, at the time, because it was so long ago for me, some of the things she said, like at age 15, you went through blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I did. Now, it wasn't like a situation, it was like an emotion.
Okay.
Like, you were hurt or you felt abandoned. And I would have to think back and I was like, yeah, she's right. So it would help to lift that. And when I went to see her again, we'd work on whatever the next piece was, like whatever came up.
Yeah.
And it didn't always work like from age 0 to present day. Like you can hop around, like it's whatever emotion was kind of calling out or like saying your name the loudest at that
Yeah.
time, right?
Yeah, I like that when you leave it to where the energy and like spirit kind of guides you on what you need, because we are so chronological, very like um linear in our thinking and all that sort of thing, and that's not the way it tends to be. It's kind of like where you're at right now. I don't know. Like to me it's like a connect the dots, but it's like all over the place, and it's kind of cool to watch how it all comes together.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's really interesting because really time isn't linear.
Oh, right?
And time doesn't really exist. We just agreed that we're going to follow the clock in time.
Yep.
We all agreed, you know, we're like, okay, well, yep, 24 hours in a day,
Yep.
365 days a year. Sure, sounds good.
Yep. Yep.
So, yeah, but it's all over. Yep, you were
And
saying
this is
something.
something that I haven't worked with you on in the past, is the flower essence stuff. So I'm really excited to I was excited to learn more about it. And then also experience this form of your healing and your modality and all that stuff. So
Yeah, thanks. So this I really do after a session. You know, I make it, pop it in the mail, and people just use it in between sessions. That's really how it works.
yeah.
And like I said, some people will. Sometimes I'll do a little live on a particular essence, which you actually. This is really cool because I don't make a lot of single ones, only
Mhm.
because I mean I could have so many, right? But the ones that and I probably doused on about 12 for you, but I'm going to talk about 4 of them.
Okay.
And two out of the 4 I do make in single ones because I think they're heavy hitters. I think they're really, really important that you can take as a standalone. And some people don't always get it in their blend. So you'll see what I mean when I talk about it. So for people that are like, what the heck are they? They work energetically and vibrationally. It's the energetic signature of the plant. So we're going to talk about echinacea. It's not like echinacea tea or a tincture where you're actually tasting it. There's no taste to these except for a little bit of brandy. It's brandy, half water, and then the essence. So it's the vibration.
I
So
love that.
yeah, and I always have a crystal when I do this, but it's like a crystal. We wear crystals because of the vibration, the energy, and the healing properties.
Mhm.
We have them close to us or we'll hold them. That's what the essence does. So it's working different than the herb properties. So it is the same plants, the echinacea flower, but it's not the property. So
Got it.
basically, what I do is I take the flower and put it in a bowl of water and let it sit in the sun. So the properties of the flower are infused in the water.
Sure.
Yeah.
I
So,
love that.
yeah, it's so cool. All right. So, let's see. Let's talk about the first one. So like I said, I doused and I got about 10 or 12 for you, but then we can't talk about all of them. So the
Yeah.
first one I'm going to talk about is rose.
Mm.
I'm going to jump over to like my Word document here just to read it because I don't have them memorized. But the first one is rose. And so the rose essence helps you to release all that is not love within your heart chakra and to inspire you to live your life from the perspective of the heart. The consciousness of the heart is one of balance and unity and brings the gifts of inner peace, serenity, connection, and unconditional love.
So this doesn't surprise me at all, and it just kind of makes me chuckle. First of all, rose quartz is like one of my favorite crystals, for sure. Um, but I just this last weekend stopped at a local food co-op that I'd never been to before, looking for rose essential oil that I could use in my diffuser. It's getting to that time of year where I like the floral scents as opposed to like those wintry scents that tend to be like cedar wood and stuff like that. And so I was looking for rose, and they had one. It wasn't strong enough for me, so I was going to check a few other places. But anyway, so it's just kind of funny to me that I literally went on a little mission to try to find some rose essential oil, And so this came up this way.
Yeah. And you've got your rose quartz. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yep. So your heart is needing like that tenderness, that love, that healing in the heart center.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sweet. All right. Thank you for sharing that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me see which one I'm gonna. I got 3 more. So let me go over. Okay. I'm going to talk about valerian.
Okay.
This one is, as far as the plant, and we have it growing sort of wild in our yard. I think I've made a tincture out of it. So, we are talking about the tincture part that you take medicinally. It kind of smells like stinky feet, and I think the flower does too. We actually use the roots to do the valerian, but not like horrible, but it does have sort of a kind of intense smell. Again, with the flower essence, there's no smell. You're not going to get that. But it is very earthy. So let me read what the flower essence does. And this I thought was really interesting. So you would use valerian flower essence for any situation in which fire is out of control in your body, such as anger, hot flashes, sweating, anxiousness, or the mind feeling like it's on fire.
Mm-hmm.
So it works through the energetic circuits that regulate heat in the body to cool excessive fire on the emotional, mental, and physical levels. Again, I'm just reading this. When I do a custom blend, I will do a write-up. So whatever's in your blend, I'm writing it up and sending it in an email so people can see what the flower essences do. Yeah. So then it works on unresolved anger and other buried negative emotions that can lead to hot flashes, sweats, headaches, anxiousness, high blood pressure, temperature swings. So it goes on. It's used to transmute the fire that's blocking your body mind from reorienting to a higher emotional state. Mm. It does. So in addition, it regulates body temperature. So this is where some of them work both emotionally and physically. Sure. But what I thought was interesting about this, and then you can give me your thoughts, is it's unresolved anger. And we talked about that when we talked about the kidney stones and the dog. And it wasn't unresolved, but it was close, really close. It was
like little balls of anger, like anger that's like been pressed into a stone.
Lumps of undissolved anger.
Yep.
So when I mean I douse, I have a bunch, like about 60 essences, and they're in 2 different, like they're in shoe boxes, because I don't want to see the names, and I'm literally hovering over them, getting a yes or no. I don't want to look at the name because I don't want to use my mind. I'm asking spirit to use the pendulum to connect with your higher self and what you need. And I get a yes or no. It tells me, right, yes or no, right over the bottle. Yeah. And then I pull it, and when I'm done pulling, then I look at them, because I don't want my mind involved. I don't want to be like, I think I know what Melissa needs. It's like, no, I don't, spirit does.
Nope, I love that.
Yeah. So open to any thoughts on that, and if that feels like it resonates.
It does.
Maybe not the hot flashes part, but like the anger part.
The anger part does. Not like I'm necessarily like angry. I know my frustration borderlines on like, can I just get a freaking break? Yes. As opposed to like, yeah.
And I'm not saying you're angry. I'm just saying we have moments of anger, or like that like those hot flash moments, like that fire, kind of comes up. So
yeah.
Okay. The next one is yarrow. I love yarrow. It's one of my favorites. This is one I will just show people. So this is one, yarrow is in this. It's also in this. It's the same exact thing. One you take internally, one you spray. So you are literally spraying this on your body. And it's water with the flower essence. I'll just do a quick demo. All right. So what yarrow does, I love, 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 love it. And that's why I made like separate products. So again, I'm going to read from my book this time. All right. The things that it enhances is inner radiance and strength of aura, compassionate awareness, inclusive sensitivity, and beneficial healing forces. the patterns that it helps, patterns of imbalance. So if you have the imbalance, this is what it helps. Extreme vulnerability to others and to the environment. If you're easily depleted, overly absorbent of negative influences, or psychic toxicity.
Yeah.
So this one, and the reason I love this one, Melissa, I'm going to be honest, is when I spray it, it creates a bubble in my auric field of protection. I can actually feel it, and I don't always feel my aura. But you know when negative energy is coming at you. You know when
Yeah.
somebody's like not happy, or if they're sad or depressed, and you can feel it. When I do this spray, the yarrow, it creates this like yummy bubble. And it's like, I can still see you, I can still feel you, but it doesn't come into my space.
I love that.
I love it too. I mean, yarrow's an amazing herb, and as a flower essence, it's very protective.
Yeah, I love
I
that.
love
One of the things that stood out when you were reading that to me was it was like something about like compassion, like being compassionate or whatever. And I am, and many of us struggle with this. I am super compassionate with other people. Like I will create space and hold grace and like do all the things, right? Have super great compassion for other people. I am not so great at doing it for myself.
Yeah.
So, and I know that a lot of us feel that way. A lot of
Yeah.
people feel that way. So I know I'm not alone. But that was the first thing. Cause like at first when I heard you say that, I'm like, I'm pretty compassionate. And then what immediately like followed after that was except with myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you said that, because I did a live in another group last week. And I said, when I was filling people up, I was filling people up with the positive words. And I said empathy to this woman that is like so empathic, like can feel so much. And so we were private messaging, and she goes, the only one I didn't resonate was empathy. And I said, maybe it's empathy for one of your past selves or your future selves. And she was like, no, she said yes, but she said, I need to be more gentle with myself, like more loving, empathic, like tender with myself, instead of having the empathy for everyone else.
Yeah.
So sometimes, and I do tell people that like some of the words are kindness, and I say it doesn't mean you're not kind. It means you're getting an infusion of more kindness, whether that comes from the outside or that comes from yourself.
Yeah.
So it's never to say you're not kind, or yeah. So I'm glad you said that, and I'm glad you picked up on that. That's awesome.
I'm glad you said that too, because like the one thing that I like want to point out is that part of what's happening with everything you offer is that we're releasing and clearing something. So if we think of that as space, we're taking a space and removing all the furniture from it. And so we want to infuse it and fill it back up with more positive, loving, joyful, happy type things. So if anything, it's not that I'm not necessarily kind or compassionate. It's that it's filling the space that we cleared out with what we did yesterday.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And something that I wasn't, I've been doing this for 23 years, the healing stuff. And there's a teacher that I've known for a good 10 years or so. And he's the one that's really drilled it into me. And he at this point is really online. Like it's not somebody I study with in person, but he's the one that's drilled into me. When you remove, you have to fill back up. The universe will come back in and fill a void. The universe always fills a void. And so we want to make sure that we're filling that void with good stuff. And we're not allowing like either the same negativity to come in or a different lower vibration to come in. He was the one that really impressed that upon me, because none of my other teachers really did.
Yeah.
And I'm the type that like, I can have a lot of things in my environment as far as like things in clutter. So my brain is like, well, decluttering is good. Get it out. But then it doesn't mean I have to put something back in. I can like declutter and fill the space with love and peace and space, right? I can literally say I'm filling you back up with openness and space. I don't have to, so that's been a big aha for me, is the removing, but putting something back in that's good.
Right. Yeah.
It's been
totally.
big aha. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
The last one.
Yes.
is echinacea. Another one, this is my all-time favorite, you guys. Echinacea is one of my herbal allies. That means it is so incredibly supportive to me. We all have, like, we have animal guides, we have angels that are with us all the time. We have plant allies. And again, studying herbs and flower essences, I didn't know what that meant till I studied it, to have a plant ally. So it just means it's a plant that some people have them for life, and they really help your foundation and your core, and they're there to support you throughout life. So it's echinacea. Not only is it beautiful, I'm not going to gush. I'll do another live and gush on echinacea because I absolutely love it. But the reason I made this in a singular one, if anyone's interested, is I'll read it, but it helps to calm trauma and any types of trauma. Past could have happened 2 minutes ago. It could be really intense trauma. It could be emotional. It could be childhood. I mean, you name it, just it's trauma. And it is beautiful. So let me read just a little bit on it.
Yeah.
But what stands out for me is that when I'm wigging out, I take it and I calm down. And now I take it daily because I can go for days and weeks not taking it. And then I start spinning out. And then it takes a couple days to settle in. So I've just recognized that I need this on a daily or every other day basis if I forget daily. And you can't overdo, or you can't, it doesn't harm you to like do a flower essence, that regularly. So
Sure.
let's see if this one resonates for you.
Okay.
Echinacea, it is all about core integrity and immunity, maintaining a strong sense of self, especially when challenged by stress or disease. And that's why I thought it was helpful for you, challenged by stress.
Yeah.
Shattered by severe trauma or abuse. Helpful for physical or emotional disintegration of self-identity, poor immune function, vacant presence. This essence allows a new point of view that rapidly changes how you perceive something that has been a struggle for you. It makes it easier to accept new things, new abilities, and new ways of seeing things. And again, the second to last sentence, this essence allows a new point of view that rapidly changes how you perceive something that has been a struggle for you. I thought that tied into yesterday, but again, I want thoughts. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Yeah, no. I totally agree. I've been listening to first I listened to a podcast where an author was a guest, and now I'm listening to the book. And this isn't the first time I've heard this. So just sometimes things hit you differently because it's like the perfect moment in time for it to really like open you up, right? And he just like talks about that we limit ourselves with lack and scarcity because of how we perceive things in the world. And we think that like so many things are impossible. But he is like, do you understand where how a caterpillar is made? Do you understand how a tree is made? No, but there are trees and you believe they're possible, but you don't understand how they actually come to be. And you don't need to understand it to be able to believe that it's there. So why do we just dissect the things that we want in our life to a degree that make it feel unattainable and impossible because we don't understand how it's going to happen? And so it's kind of that, I don't know, that's what stood out when you mentioned that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know, like, a tree grows from a little tiny seed or an acorn, or like tiny. Same thing, right? The caterpillar is perfect example because it starts off as one thing. And I don't know if it knows it's going to go through that metamorphosis. Like, I wondered, does it feel scared, or is it just like, all right, this is just the next, who knows, it's in this goo, it's just fascinating, but it doesn't question it. Like, we're the only ones that are like, why, or I'm not going to do this, or whatever. We're like throwing little temper tantrums. Whereas like the tree doesn't go, I didn't want to be a tree. It's like, duh, you have tree DNA, you're going to be a tree.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it was just like the way that he like put that in his book that like just made me look at things, and like I talk about all the time, when you look at something differently like that and you have that aha, like you instantly have become like a new and evolved version of yourself because that thought's there and like you have that realization. Yeah.
And we got to change the grooves in our head because they're pretty deep, on some things.
Mhm.
Like I've been down this road how many times? The
Yeah.
scenery hasn't changed.
Right.
The radio
Yeah.
station is the same.
Right. Same songs over and over again.
It's like,
Yeah.
come on.
Yes.
Come on. So I have a little treat because
Yeah.
something came to me yesterday and I want to share it with you.
Yeah.
And maybe you've thought of this. I don't know. So Dawn is here again. I just want to say hi to Dawn, and she loves flower essences. All right, so maybe this maybe this is like old hat to you, but after I don't know when this came to me, I sat down looking at our notes from yesterday, and I was like, ooh, all right. So in your story, what I
Yeah.
got was this. I call it a pattern. Um,
Mm.
okay, ready? New
Yes.
car, new puppy, new business.
Mm.
Everything's new
Yeah.
and got hit with money, right?
Yeah.
New. So the word is new. So it could be a new outfit, doesn't matter. So, some questions. How am I supported when I step into new things?
Mm.
How is it okay to do new things, try new things? And this is the part where you can play with without being punished, because it's almost like I'm doing this new thing. It's so exciting. I'm getting a puppy. Oh no, I got this big bill because my puppy's got kidney stones. I got this new car. Oh, the hail gods decided to rain on me.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so um, can I afford my dreams? Was another question, right?
Mm.
Can I afford to step into my dreams and make them a reality? I don't know how any of that lands with you, but I just thought it was interesting that it's like you were breaking out, you were trying something new, you had a new dream, a new vision, and then catastrophe, disaster. I know those are kind of intense words, but it's that unexpected and then the big bill, right? So however
Mhm.
you want to phrase that. So I don't know,
Yeah.
does that land for you?
No, that's
Is that new information? Have you thought of that?
I haven't thought about it that way because on top of the things you mentioned, right? New car, new business, the
New puppy.
puppy.
Yep.
I all within this realm, right? So left the job, stepped fully into the business about 18 months ago. It's about 2.5 years ago. I left a long-term relationship and like moved out and like now I'm like on my own, not like I was in the relationship, had to leave the home that me and my kids lived in. My whole life, the last like 2.5 to 3 years is brand new, basically.
So
So
new.
it, yeah. What continues to stand out to me as we talk about this and as I was writing down some of those questions is that it all comes back to my confidence that I can support myself. Like this all, I mean, look, everything is like within, right? It's all within us and not external. And we look for external to make ourselves feel safe, loved, happy, all that, right? None of that's new to us. But what I just keep hearing loud and clear as we talk about this is trusting myself to be able to support myself and paying attention to how I've done that as opposed to like how it's been a struggle, if
Yes.
that makes sense.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
How
Those
can
are,
it be easy? How can I go for my dreams? How can it be how can it be easy?
yeah,
Because I don't. You can start with questions like how can it not be a struggle? That's okay, but don't stick with that too long because you've got the word struggle in there, right? You
yeah,
don't want to like you. So whatever the opposite of struggle is for you, how can it be easy? How can it
right.
be? How can the road be open, right? But it's okay to start with those questions because that's what you're feeling right now. Like, how can I get out of struggle mode? That's okay. Just don't keep
Mm-hmm.
asking that question a month from
Sure.
now,
Right.
because
Yeah. No, that's a really good point. Like the language that we use as we ask ourselves those questions and formulate the thoughts, if you will, or like the responses to it.
yeah.
I had another
And
thought now.
if I were tapping with somebody, if I was doing tapping with them, we would be like, I've been struggling, we'd be tapping on the points. I've been struggling. This has been a pattern. Wow, this is overwhelming, right? But then you move out of it. Then you like move into the more positive stuff. So again, it's not bad to use it as a question or to tap on the what's happening, because it's real, because you want to release it. But you do need to talk. We need to talk about it and acknowledge that it is happening. So that's okay.
Right.
But again, I know you get it. This is
Yes.
for
No, no, no. Yeah, yeah,
we
yeah.
don't
No,
want
it's
to
like a
sit
really
in the, we don't want to
helpful
say,
reminder.
why am I still struggling? No, why is it easier? Is it possible? But I really, like, for me, I love the supported. How am I supported when I step into new things? How do I support myself? How does the universe support me? How does my circle of friends and my tribe, how am I just supported? However you want to pull that in. Oh, you froze, darling. I can't hear you and you're frozen. So I don't know if you can still hear me. I know we're coming. Oh, there you are. Yeah, you froze. So, all right. I know we should end. I'm probably gonna have to make these a half hour. Like, I think 20 minutes is too short. But anyway.
Well, I
So,
tend to be like pretty chatty anyway, so that doesn't help. But no, this
it's
was like
not
really
you.
great and really helpful.
It's not you. Yeah. Any last thoughts or anything you want to share? I don't want to cut you off, but I will keep this one shorter than yesterday.
Yeah, no, this was all like really helpful, and it all resonated in different ways for sure.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So tomorrow we'll come back, I think 7:00 again, Tuesday night. And the last thing we'll do is we'll tap with some frequency numbers. And again, same theme. I'm going to pull cards or consult with my book and see if I can come up with some frequency numbers for what you're going through. So
wonderful. I'm excited for that too.
Me too. But I don't want to cut you off. Did you have anything else you wanted to share? Because I love your insights, so I don't want to.
Yeah, this is all really, it's all really good. And I love being able to witness and experience different modalities or different elements of it, right? Flower essences, like we've all heard of like essential oils and tinctures and stuff like that. And this is like that, but not that. And so it's, yeah.
It is. It's the plant kingdom, but it's just a different aspect of it. It's definitely, it's not the same as a tincture or the oil. Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Thanks, Melissa.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.